Hi everybody, so this review is of Oxana Patchouli by Amaran, Amaran Parfums. Oxana Patchouli. I'm sure this bottle looks familiar to you. I got this at Marshall's for $16.99, and of course I immediately recognized it as looking like the Oxana Rouge, which I'm sure you're all familiar with because it's so similar to the Baccarat Rouge, of course. I really like this one. As I've said in my other review, I like this one for what it is. Even though it's similar to the BR540, it still stands on its own, I think. I like this. So, so I was excited to check this out. And as I said, I got it in Marshall's for $16.99. And this one is, I like it, but, and I'll explain that. So first of all, as usual, when I was in Marshall's, I was just spraying loads and loads of things. So then it becomes difficult after a while to really distinguish one thing from the other after a while. So then I start asking other people what they think. And I had actually gone into Marshall's because I was looking for that, the Good Scent Solar Floral one, because I saw it at my TJ Maxx and I was going to pick it up and I didn't, and I should have. But they didn't have it today. Marshall's didn't have it. So I started looking around, and then I said, let me go over to the men's section, which, by the way, there were a lot of good ones over there in the men's section. But they had this in the men's section. However, you and I both know that this is a unisex fragrance, just like the other is unisex. I knew it would be a unisex fragrance. And even when I asked the Marshall's employee, she looked at the sticker, and however they have it coded, she said, no, I told her I found it in men's, but I was sure it wasn't specifically men's. And she said, you're right, it's not coded as a men's fragrance or women's, I don't think. So, which I knew. So, it's named Oxana Patchouli, but it's not extreme patchouli. In fact, when I was having everybody else smell it, I like patchouli. I had a lady smell it, and she is not a fan of patchouli. And she was like, oh, this isn't really patchouli, which happens a lot in fragrances. There's so many fragrances that are named after something, and then they just like don't even have it in it. This does have patchouli in it, but it is the lighter patchouli, which is nice. I like all kinds of patchouli, even the dirty patchoulis, but this definitely is not dirty. It's the patchouli, and this is very light. And this is warm and spicy. And so I was having people smell it, and they were like, yeah, this smells like it would be very good for fall and winter, which it most definitely is. This is definitely for cool and cold weather. I will say that right off the bat. It's a really pretty color. You see this really pretty purple. You can see through the light. Really pretty. And the caps on these are fairly heavy. They're pretty nice. I asked some young people, and it always amazes me how different people's noses will pick out different things. And 3 different young people said they thought it smelled warm but fruity. And one younger lady said that, for her, when I say younger, she was probably in her late teens or early 20s. She was like, almost like a dark wine or something. I myself, and I'm 47, just turned 47, and the other people more my age did not smell any fruit, and there are no fruit notes listed in this. I just find that very interesting that a few young people, and like 2 younger males, said they thought they smelled fruit in it too. But they also said it smelled warm. So I was like, okay, let me get this, because I was happy to find it. I was excited to find it, but I was like, I can't really decide if I like it or not, because I've been smelling so many different things, and I don't know what this is a dupe of. I was trying to figure it out. I asked another lady about my age, and she said that it reminded her of something. She was trying to think. She said, maybe opium from back in the day. And I was like, I don't know, like, maybe. She was trying to say it just smelled like something from back in the more mature, and maybe from back in the day, then she was trying to place it. Well, lo and behold, I finally figured out what this one is a dupe of, and I was able to figure it out because, you know, a lot of these, it's hard to find the exact notes and also what they're dupes of, but I was able to figure this one out because I found where it's listed as what it is, Oxana patchouli, and it might have been obvious to some of you, but it wasn't obvious to me, so I actually screenshotted this sitting with the box and then did a Google search for the box, you know, what was similar to the box popped up on Google, and after seeing what it's a dupe of, it's pretty obvious because it's Carolina Herrera. I think hers is, I've got it pulled up here, Nightfall Patchouli. Okay, so that's what this one is duping. And if you look up the notes on this one, which I found off the website called Noon, I think they have a lot of the Middle Eastern fragrances listed on there. Their description on there says, inspiration. This carefully crafted fragrance is intriguing, dynamic, and beautiful. It's an alluring fragrance by the name of Oxana patchouli. Notes, top notes are cinnamon. Middle notes are jasmine. Base notes are patchouli, amber, musk, and benzoin. So that's what is listed on the website Noon for the notes of Amaran Oxana patchouli. And then if you look up the notes for Nightfall Patchouli by Carolina Herrera, product details for that says a fusion between fantasy and reality. This contrasting duality is reflected through the sweet yet bitter cinnamon resinous benzoin adds a mystical Arabian edge, while the sweet herbaceous Indonesian patchouli completes the composition. It says for unisex, when, day and night, type stimulating and elegant. And then also, like on this page, oh, that's too bright, you can't see it. That has a cool effect though, doesn't it? It says olfactive family, woody, top notes benzoin, siam, heart notes patchouli, bottom notes cinnamon, and then it says ingredients shown from left to right: 1 patchouli, 2 bergamot, 3 cinnamon, and 4 cidtelelabdanum. I can never say it. Labdanum. I don't know why I get tongue-tied with that. So that's actually more than is listed on Fragrantica. Fragrantica just lists 3 notes, and clearly you could tell it has more than the 3 notes. The Nightfall Patchouli. I also saw another reviewer say that this line of fragrances from Carolina Herrera, this reviewer thought that was originally only available in the Middle East, and then she was able to find it at Harrods. And now is available, like you see, I think discounted, which, as she was saying, even when it's discounted, it's still pricey. So, you know, how do I feel about this? Well, I've since gotten home, and even though I've sprayed all kinds of stuff on me, I've extra sprayed this on me, and I don't know if I go nose blind to it or if it's just not strong enough. When you first spray this, you think this is strong. When you first put your nose to it, you think that this is strong. And then the people in the store, when they put their nose to it, they're like, yeah, it's strong. It's a strong, wintry, spicy, warm fall fragrance. But to me, oh, you know what? I just said the young people were smelling fruit, and then I said there's no fruits in it. But yet when you look up the notes for the Carolina Herrera, not on Fragrantica, it does list the bergamot. And then the Noon lists jasmine in this. So now I just have to stand corrected. I correct myself. I guess these young noses were picking up on that fruit. And now that I'm smelling it, I was going to say this is not just warm and spicy. And it's got to be that bergamot that I'm picking up on. Because there is to me, there is floral in this there, but it's like mixed in with the spiciness and I guess the light patchouli, and there is that bit of brightness. Bitter brightness must be the bergamot mixed in with the cinnamon and the warm cinnamon and labdanum. Let me not try to say it again. And it's not a dark, dirty, earthy patchouli. It is definitely the lighter patchouli. But when I smell this, I don't think patchouli. Although I guess when you go outside and the cool air hits it, you could pick up on a lighter patchouli. Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely getting the brightness mixed in with it, though. It's a very interesting combination. So, and it definitely has the Middle Eastern vibes. And of course, this Amaran is a Middle Eastern country. So how do I feel about this? Actually, I did not find a lot of reviews on it, but I found a couple of, I didn't see a lot of reviews for the original either, the Nightfall Patchouli, but there are some. And I saw one lady saying, yeah, it was okay. I saw on Fragrantica a few people saying like they really loved it, and then other people just feeling mediocre. And I saw one reviewer on YouTube saying that she could use it for layering. And I kind of feel that way. I mean, I feel like you can wear it on its own and it's going to pop in the cool and cold. But I almost feel like it's not enough by itself. I mean, I guess it is, and it's interesting. But I think maybe I go nose blind to it or something. Now, when I walked in the house, my family member was like, "Oh, you smell like really strong," and I had just sprayed this all in my car and on me on the way home. Not right before I walked in the door, but on the way home. So maybe she was smelling that. Or maybe it was because I was in Marshall's spraying all over the place different things. Although I wasn't spraying myself directly, still. I do like this. It's interesting. And it's definitely for the cold weather, which is nice. It's nice to have something that's for the cold weather, but not necessarily one of the sweet, heavy, sweet cold weather things. This is not that. So I am getting the cinnamon. This is definitely unisex, just like it's meant to be. This does not lean masculine or feminine. It just is what it is. I'm getting that cinnamon. I feel like I get the bergamot in this one. I don't know about the original. Somewhere hidden in there, some floral, that jasmine, I guess, but just hidden in there. And it's, if the sweetness that is in it is just like ever so slight. It's mainly warm, spicy, woody, like with that bergamot, I think, which is not listed on the Fragrantica page. And just a light patchouli. But again, this doesn't scream patchouli despite the name. I hope that helps. I would love to know what you think if you check this out. I actually asked them. I have so many. Yes, I know it's only $16.99, but I feel like it adds up. Personally, I like a lot of these things. Like I really love this one. I enjoy spraying this one, and this one does project, and this one does have longevity, and I do smell this one on myself. I'm going nose blind to this one, and it certainly doesn't project and kind of stand out the way this one does. I feel like I want to hang on to it and see, if I'm maybe, tomorrow just get like a fresh sniff on it and like see what I think. But at the same time, I asked them, can I return it if I want to tomorrow? Because even though it's only $16.99, I give a lot of stuff away. I gift a lot of things. And I just have a lot of things. And I really like my fragrance subscriptions because I like fragrances that cost whatever. If I like it, I like it. But I really do like my niche fragrances, and of course this is like a niche dupe company, or house or whatever, this Amaran. But I love my Inicio, I love my Tiziana Terenzi, I love my Narciso Rodriguez, I love y'all know what I'm saying. I really enjoy these things, and that's what I probably wear most of. I need to start reviewing those too. I have this pretty big collection of what I've got from the subscriptions. because I don't really have too many of the full bottles of ones that I love. But I have a lot of the travel size of very expensive ones. What was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. But like, do I want to hang on to it? I have to see tomorrow and test it out. Because although I like it, I have to see, do I like it enough to... Because it just starts to add up. A lot of these I review because y'all like, maybe not you in particular, but a lot of viewers just like, this is what they really like to wear, you know, what they find in TJ Maxx. And I do too. I like a lot of them. But I just don't need a huge collection of ones that I don't love. You know, my youngest daughter taught me a lesson with shopping for all kinds of things, like whether it be shoes or a dress or a fragrance. She's like, Mom, if you don't love it, don't get it. So I'm trying to remember that. So I do have a lot of stuff that's like, yeah, I like it and I enjoy it, but do I love it? I don't know. I think you know what I mean. Maybe I will love this tomorrow and take it out in some cooler weather. It's not even that cold here yet, but you see the jacket I have on. It's cool outside tonight. We'll see. Let me see. You know, and I just sprayed myself with this, and it's still not kicking to me. And it does, did y'all see that has a nice atomizer on it? Nice spray. See, this is interesting. I like it. It's different. And it does have some mix of like bitterness with the patchouli. It's an interesting bitterness mixed with the cinnamon and the patchouli. And just like the spicy, kind of earthy muskiness. I don't know. I'm rambling because it's actually kind of hard to pinpoint. It's different. Totally unisex. It does, for 1 second, I think it might lean slightly more masculine, and then I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's just unisex. Maybe a little bit. I just think it's a fragrance. It's not. It's unisex. So they definitely did well with making it unisex. I can say that. Now, a minute ago, I had sprayed it on something else with this little very sweet one that I picked up last night. The Jones Rare Vanilla Blossom, which I like, and I'll have to review separately. And that kind of sweetness added to this is interesting. I agree with somebody else that this probably could be layered with a lot of things and really add something nice to it. Like this would add something different to something else you want to layer it with. That's all fine and good if it projects and lasts. Again, I can't tell if I'm like nose blind to it. Like it just smells strong at first and then do I become nose blind, or is it just not staying strong? For me, it's just not staying projecting, but it starts out strong. But I'd love to hear what you think. I'm sure if I sprayed it all over and went, you know, out and about, especially in the cold weather, I would be smelling it. So that's why I kind of want to hang on to it, because it's interesting and different. And it's not even loaded with a lot of notes, but I feel like maybe it's worth hanging on to, just because even with few notes, it's not typical smelling to me. It's not like groundbreaking in any way, but at the same time, it's not necessarily typical either. So yeah, please let me know what you think about this one. The Oxana Patchouli, Amaran, Dupe, and Carolina Herrera Nightfall. What did I say? Nightfall Patchouli. Yeah, and actually, if you have or have worn or tried or smelled the original, I'd like to know what you think, comparison-wise too, or what you just think of the original. So yeah, please like and subscribe and comment. I really appreciate it, and I will see you soon.